Hi everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today I'm going to show you how to create this card. It's so pretty and fresh and spring-like. My downline member, Irene Boson, created this for a demo swap that we were in together, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I would have to put it on my card buffet so that my customers could enjoy it too. One of the things that I like the best about it is that it uses the stamp set called Perfectly Penned so that my customers will get a choice of whichever sentiment that they want to put on the front of this card, and actually all four of them would work just wonderfully, or they could leave it off altogether and then later put a different sentiment of their choice on. I think it would make a good graduation card too. I could just see happy graduation down here at the bottom as well. So when you open it up, of course, there's just plenty of room to write and a little bit of watercolor paper here at the bottom, our Watercolor Wonder Designer Series paper from the Spring 2014 mini catalog. It's just awesome. And then, so we're going to use a couple of pieces of that too. But before I get started, I want to show you something with the Big Shot machine. Here's my Big Shot machine. And it comes, when you purchase it, it comes with a multi-purpose platform that looks like this. And one of the things that I have done or decided to do recently is take off this top piece. I just used a little tiny screwdriver for eyeglasses, and then I taped the screws to my platform, so if I ever want to put this back onto my platform, I can. But I do have a magnetic plate that I use for my framelits, and then I use this particular platform for my embossing. And so I thought, you know what, I don't need to keep flipping this up and down, up and down, up and down, so I just took it off. This is tab 1, and that's what you use for most of your embossing folders. Now if you have a really tight folder that sort of seems like it's cutting through your cardstock, just open this up and use no tabs at all, and you should have better luck with that. There, now that I've explained that, let me bring the Big Shot back into the picture, and I'm going to show you how to create that little bit of a blank spot for you to stamp your sentiment. What Irene did is she told me that she took her embossing folder and she drew a line on the embossing folder just to kind of mark where the paper would end. And that way, one part of the paper would not be embossed. So I did the same thing. I drew a line on my Perfect Polka Dot embossing folder, and when I put my paper into the folder, I'm only going to put it up as high as that marker piece. Now if you ever want to get rid of that Sharpie marker that you've put onto your folder, all you have to do is use some rubbing alcohol and it'll come right off. So now I'm going to put my base platform in, and of course I have it on tab 1. Now it's going to be like that all the time. I'm so excited. And then we're going to put our folder in, and then of course our top plate over the top. So we've got the base platform, a cutting plate, the folder with the paper, and another cutting plate, and we're going to run it through. All right, let me take it out of the picture for a second, grab that folder, and bring it back in. And you can see, just like that, we have this lovely blank area for us to stamp our sentiment without interference from the dots. So let's go ahead and do that as long as we have that all ready. I'm going to use the sentiment called Celebrate Today, and I am inking it up with Island Indigo ink, and we're just going to stamp it right like this at the bottom of our paper. So pretty. And now we can go ahead and actually talk about the rest of this card here. So we're going to need a base piece of paper for your card, 5.5 by 8.5, and scored at 4 1/4. And then we'll just fold this in, and I've got my bone folder here. Make a little bit of a crease so it'll lay flat. Open it up, and then let's go ahead and do the inside first. We have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White paper, and then on this side, which will face the front, we have a 3/4 inch by 4 inch piece of the Watercolor Wonder Designer Series paper. And then I'm just going to take some snail, maybe. It was here and now it is gone. Oh, here's some. Found it. Alright, we're just going to take some snail, put a little bit at the top, and just center it in on our inside panel. And that part is done. Now we can go ahead and we can work on the front part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some snail, since this is Whisper White. I don't want my glue lines to show through. I'm just going to put kind of a liberal amount of snail on the back of this front panel. We're going to set it down like so. And then you're going to punch out some butterflies. Now we're using two punches. One is our Elegant Butterfly Punch, and then one is our Bitty Butterfly Punch. And as you can see, I've taken the liberty of punching out some bitty butterflies using some scraps of this kind of a bouncing ball type piece of designer paper that's in the Watercolor Wonder pack. And then I also punch some butterflies, which you can get quite a few if you punch them, you know, up, down, up, down, up, down, because they kind of fit into each other's wings like that. But you can get quite a few off some scraps of the Island Indigo paper. And what we're going to do next also is I have 3 strips, again from that same Watercolor Wonder Designer Series pack, that are cut at 3/4 inch by 2 3/4 inches. And I am going to hold all 3 of them together, and then I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm just going to snip up one edge, and then I'm just going to follow that in from each corner to make a pennant. Get all my little scraps out of the way. And now we're ready to put our butterflies onto our card. And I have a couple of them completed, and I'm going to put one at the bottom like this, and then I'm going to put one at the top. Whenever I'm doing something that requires me to, you know, to have a middle, I like to do the top and the bottom first, and that way I know that it'll all look centered, because then the middle one you can center wherever you'd like. And the middle one, just go ahead and show you how I did this. I took a glue dot and put it on one of the butterflies, and then I took another glue dot for this little baby butterfly here, and I just set those together. I like it so that their wings are up a little bit. And then I can just center this in right where I think it looks good. And then the next thing is I'm taking a paper piercer, and I've got some rhinestones here, and I think I'm using the second largest rhinestone. Set that right in there. And so our butterfly section is done. And now all we have to do is layer this paper over the top. Now I did find one thing that was a little bit annoying. The first time I made this card, I discovered all of these dots sort of make it hard to glue these on. I mean, it looks a little bumpy. So I discovered that once I've got them down, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to take some snail on the back and just lightly lay them into place, each one. Make sure it's not crooked. Uh-oh, I'm letting my perfectionism get in the way. Do you ever do that? Are you working on a card and then it's taking like 5 times longer than it really should just because you're trying to be perfect? I know, I have to fight that all the time. Alright, here we are with the last one. So we're just laying that underneath the wing. There. And now, because like I said, this is a little bit bumpy, I found something that worked really cool. If you take your bone folder, and this will also help it stick really well, just press that designer strip in, and it presses out all those bumps, and it really secures your designer series strip to your card, because it's like you're burnishing the snail on the back of it to really stick to the card. There we go. And now it's complete. And here it is, a beautiful card to celebrate today. And there's the inside. And let me see if I can find the other one, and I'll put them both out for you to look at. How pretty! And thank you again, Irene Boson, for sharing this with us at our demo swap. Have a great day. Thanks so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.